Welcome everyone to the Smart Nerd Podcast. After a week and a half of a hiatus due to shits that happened, we're back. We're back. We have not abandoned you, much like the U.S. government. Yes, we went there. We went there. Fuck all of them anyway, by the way. We're here and we're not queer. Not that there's anything.
He had to say that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
fuck.
Hey, we don't want to get in trouble with the.
That sarcasm will never die.
Well, we already went through a train wreck, and we're not even a minute in. Anyway, this is Smart Nerd Podcast. This is Ariel. The guys, say hello to the people that are listening.
Hey, this is Baldwin. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hello again, everybody. This is Harold Militant as ever.
Militant, okay.
Oh, militant. Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need in this times. Militant ideas. Like we're not militant enough in these days. Okay, so we can talk briefly of the shit show that was Hell in the Cell in terms of our predictions, mainly mine. Which I butchered we all butchered the ending that we thought Drew was going to go over and he didn't.
No.
and also I butchered the Bayley and Sasha match. I thought Bayley was going to retain. Sasha won.
Wrong number.
Yep. Wrong number. Sasha won. So, but everything else we pretty much hit it on the nose, right?
Pretty much correcto. Yeah. Actually, a couple of matches pretty much exceeded expectations, just like Roman versus Jey Uso actually exceeded my expectations, to be honest. I expected a good match, but not as good as everything went through.
And the important thing on that match, it was the story that was being told. Not so much the moves, but the story that was told. And that's Wrestling 101. If you're going to tell a story, you better incorporate that into the match, and that match was solid gold. So
it was totally awesome. The end when he's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. He puts his drama shit, then he puts his cousin in that hook. So that was awesome. It was a good match. It lasted 45 minutes, but if you know those 45 minutes, you were like intrigued completely.
Yes.
Like you were like bored. You know, it was a good match.
And well, let's just say heel Roman is best Roman, so let's keep it that way. And kudos on WWE for letting Roman loose finally, and we're now finally getting the pro version of Roman, not the beta version we've been getting with the suffering succotash and all that shit. But we already been through that road before. We're not going to talk about that.
Free trial.
Yeah, we are going to talk about though the next pay-per-view that's coming up, and it's an AEW pay-per-view. Which is Full Gear. It's going to be this coming Saturday. And I have here the card here with me. We're going to have the starter or buy-in pre-show match, which will be an NWA Women's World Championship match between Serena Deeb versus Allison Kay. Who you guys have in that match?
Bathroom break, I'm sorry.
No
comment.
No comment?
No comment. On that, the women's division sucked in the AEW.
No, this is not AEW. This is NWA.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
This is NWA because AEW is being good guys and letting NWA do some of their matches and their pay-per-views and their shows as well. As a good, Tony Khan right now, if he doesn't get the award as the nicest boss on earth, I don't know who the hell is going to take that title off of him, because it sure as hell ain't going to be Vince McMahon. Sure as fuck it ain't going to be him.
It ain't happening, bro.
Okay, so
put your eyes on it.
Harold, do you have a dog in this fight?
Actually, no, that's a hard pass.
Okay, well, I'm picking Serena. Because I am watching AEW, and Serena Deeb beat Thunder Rosa, but that didn't happen on Dynamite. That actually happened on NWA programming. So Thunder Rosa is no longer the NWA Women's Champion, and it's Serena Deeb, who is an AEW wrestler, by the way. She is an AEW wrestler. and she is currently now the women's champion. I think they're going to keep rolling the ball with her until they find someone more suitable in NWA to take the position. But in a side note, Thunder Rosa is still under contract with NWA until next year, until 2021. So her contract has not expired. So all those rumors that were running around that she dropped the belt because she was leaving, that's total BS. She's still under contract per Billy Corgan himself, the owner of NWA. So just to put that rumor to rest. Okay. In this match, you might know Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. John Silver is the comedy gold of the Dark Order, the gift that keeps on giving, and the star right now of BTE, of being the Elite. In my opinion, at least, he's the star. He's the best thing in being the Elite so far. So, who do you guys have? I do know that you guys know who those two are. So,
of course. Look, I go for Orange. I know he's on a roll lately. Beating Jericho and stuff like that. His matches have been pretty good. So I'm going for Orange on this one.
Okay, Harold.
Actually, I would agree with Baldwin in this case. Going with Orange as well.
Okay, I'm going for Shirley Squeeze as well, so let's just jump into the next one. Because we're not gonna, no vamos a llover sobre mojado.
No.
It's better to say it in Spanish sometimes than in English because I don't know what would be the expression in English. And
it wouldn't sound the same in English, actually,
and it wouldn't make any sense at all. And it wouldn't make any sense at all. That only makes sense to us, Dominicans. Okay. This match we do know, and this one has been the longest build-up in AEW history. The longest feud in AEW history. 6 months in the making, for the love of God. And hopefully, this will be the one that breaks it. Listen to me, baby Jesus, please. Have this fucking feud end now. Let it end on Saturday. Put that baby in the bed. Please, God, hear me. Okay. Did I say that? Okay. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in an Elite deletion match. And that deletion automatically tells me this might be a cinematic. They haven't said anything that is going to be cinematic, but automatically when you add the word deletion and Matt Hardy, it goes to the cinematic route. So usually that's Matt Hardy's playground. I'm just giving you the setup, but it could be that I am wrong. I may be full of shit. It may be just a straight up match. But having said all of that, who you guys pick? Baldwin?
Well, I'll go for in this case for Matt Hardy. That's his playground, like you just said, man. All those matches I've seen him against, he always wins. I never see him lost. So I believe it's like the Undertaker with WrestleMania. This is the same situation. So Matt Hardy in my case.
Okay, Harold?
Actually, I agree with Balding on every time that Matt Hardy goes into that scene, if actually that is what's going to happen, he comes out on top. But in this case, if not, please just give the victory to the one who's going to end this goddamn feud.
Yes, please.
Just end this already, please.
Okay.
Mátame, as they say, mátame, please, mátame, coño.
And please follow my logic in this, although I wouldn't know if to call this logical, but in order for this feud to finally fucking end, I'm gonna pick Sammy Guevara. Just because that would be the only way it ends, because Matt doesn't give a shit if he wins, we're talking kayfabe here. So if Sammy finally wins, it's over. In my opinion, because Sammy will finally get that W on top of Matt. And Matt would just have to lick his wounds. It's not like Matt has been hurting for losses here. So a loss on Matt wouldn't do dick to him because his name is already cemented as stone. Sammy is the one that needs to build up. Sammy needs this more than Matt, in my opinion. But everything, like I already said before, the frame of thought that I already mentioned, if it has the deletion name, that pretty much means that it's in the Matt Hardy wheelhouse, and that pretty much gives him the ball in his court. So it could be that Matt wins, but I want Sammy to win just to end this fucking feud.
Yes, please.
Just for that. 6 months.
I'm suffering with the shit already.
6 fucking months. Miro before that shit happened in WWE, I think he had a match in WWE during that time. Fuck.
I think, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually did it.
Fuck. Okay. We're gonna go now for another one. The most controversial shit that AEW has ever done was the Dinner Debonair, which got a lot of traditionalist panties in the bunch. We're talking about you, Jim Cornette. So now we're finally getting the match, which has been perfectly built up, in my opinion. The Chris Jericho versus MJF. If MJF wins, he gets to be in the inner circle. Who do you guys pick, Jericho or MJF?
I think MJF will win this one. They want to keep that storyline going. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. I think he's going to win.
What do you think, Harold?
I actually will go the other way around this time. In order for the story to keep around, I believe Jericho should win. In order for MJF to keep pursuing to get into the inner circle.
In my opinion, I think MJF wins. Just because I'm a mark for him, just for that reason. I'm a mark. I'm sorry, I'm a mark for him. He's the perfect fucking heel. He is.
Yeah, totally.
Picture perfect heel. He is old school heel, and I fucking love the character. And to me, the way I would write the story is that have MJF go in the inner circle, and it's predictable as fucking daylight. But he's going to take over the inner circle, and they're going to boot Jericho off. That's at least that's how the way I see it. Regardless if MJF wins or not, that's what's going to be the ending. MJF is going to take control of the inner circle. He's going to get the ears out of everybody. He's going to get all of them to drink his Kool-Aid, and they're going to kick Jericho out. And then
I think he's going to kick Sammy Guevara off.
No. I think he's going to kick out Jericho off, and then and that will turn Jericho babyface. Because right now, Jericho is so fucking entertaining that even as a heel, he's a tweener.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, he has to do dastardly shit to have the people hate him. But even that way, he's still a tweener in my eyes. But MJF, I think, is going to win. Well, let's go.
Have you noticed that he's been a lot in commentary lately? So
no, because Jericho is doing, he's already preparing for his next stage. Because let's face it, Jericho's not, although he hasn't lost a step in the ring, he's not a young guy anymore. He's an old man. He's almost in his 50s. So you can't go forever. And I think he's preparing himself for the next phase in his career. I'm not saying that he's going to retire now or tomorrow. I'm just saying that, just keep your options open and get prepared for what's next in the future, because the body will not always be responding. Then again, he could
What do you think of Jericho as a commentator?
He's good. I mean, a little polishing here and there, but you get that with getting your reps in.
Yeah, what you think, Harold?
Whatever Jericho does in a microphone is gold. The guy knows how to talk and how to color commentate, So the guy has it. He can actually have a career on commentating after he's done with wrestling.
And he has a good chemistry with JR and Tony Schiavone. He has a great chemistry with those two. So I think that it will just be an addition to the broadcast booth. Okay, let's continue here with the AEW Women's Championship. Another snorefest for you guys.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose. Do you even care to predict on this one, any of you?
Oh man, I'm sorry. I pass on this one.
Harold?
Same.
Okay, Nyla Rose. Let's just go quick. I mean, goddammit, if we don't even have if we don't give a shit, why would any of the listeners give a shit?
Exactly.
Fuck. I mean, do better, girls, or have the girls do better, because they are actually good wrestlers. But god damn it. Anyway,
it's not the talent at all.
Exactly, it's the presentation. It's the presentation.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Yeah. Let's go in now to more interesting territory. AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. Picks, gentlemen.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Look, me personally, I'm going for Kenny Omega. I think this is his time already to start shining. I think they build things up for him in the future to be a champion. So I bet my money on him on this one.
Harold?
It is a tough one, but I will have to go with Omega as well.
Okay. You want to add anything more to that?
Well, to be honest, the main reason why I'm a little bit of a fan of Omega, so I do believe just as Baldwin that he deserves to go on top.
Okay, so you're a mark. Anyway.
Okay, 2 in a row. Okay, then.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What's your pick?
I'm a mark 2, Kenny Omega.
Crap.
No, the thing is...
Kenny it is then.
No, the thing is, he's back to the cleaner. He's back. The cleaner's back. The cleaner's back. So... if you're going with New Japan Kenny Omega, this is no longer AEW comedic relief Kenny Omega. This is the cleaner Kenny Omega, and the cleaner was a son of a bitch. So, I mean, Adam Paige ain't no slouch. He ain't a scrub by any means, but this is not his year. Not yet. Give him a little bit more development in his character. Plus, he's an alcoholic in character right now. In kayfabe, so I don't think I think that will play some factor, but I mean, look at the character, for God's sakes. Even as an alcoholic, he's a hell of a wrestler. So I think there's just a little bit more character development for Hangman, and then he'll get his spot in the spotlight. He'll get his chance there, but right now it's Kenny Omega's world.
I see Hangman as a TNT champion. That's how I see it.
No, he's future champion for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I see it like that. The TNT as a stepping stone, and then go to the World Championship. That's how I see it with Hangman. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, speaking of the TNT Championship, Cody Rhodes now. Cody Rhodes.
Yes, definitely.
Versus Darby Allin. Who do you pick?
Oh, Cody. I'm sorry. I'm going with Cody on this one. 100%. Look, Cody is a guy that he's carrying right now the championship. When this guy was Brody was champion, he was doing okay, but Cody has more a rise to it. Maybe Darby Allin down the road will be a championship, but I'm going for Cody on this one.
What do you think, Harold?
I'm going with Cody as well. Actually, Cody is doing very, 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 very good. The guy is pretty much breaking a leg, and he's a Rhodes again. So why kill the momentum now?
Yeah. Agree. Totally.
Yeah, I'm picking Cody Rhodes too, because for the same reasons you guys mentioned. So let's not water that bridge again. Tú ves, la expresión no sirve en inglés. Tú ves.
No, para nada, coño. Say it in Spanish.
Yeah, llueve sobre mojado. Okay, so let's continue. AEW Tag Team Championship, FTR versus Young Bucks. Who do you got?
This is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one. Listen. Look, I'm going to go for FTR on this one. Basically, right now, they're hot. You know, they're on top. You know, I like them as a good heel tag team. And for now, this is what AEW needs. They had for a very long time Hangman and Omega as a face, but they need a heel tag team for a while. So I'm going with them.
Okay, Harold?
I do agree with Balding. I don't have much to add to it. I do agree with that. I'm going to with FTR as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that condemned the Bucks was adding the stipulation that if they lose, they will never go after the tag belts again, and that was pretty much the seal, the seal of fate right there in my book, because that's exactly what Cody said.
Yeah, but they'll never go after it if FTR is still champion. If FTR loses,
no. They said they'll never go after the belt again. That the belt, period, not whoever has it. Yes, they said they'll never go after the belt again.
Well, I'm sorry, I misunderstood it because I thought it was because until FTR ain't champion, then would they go after it? But if it's like that, well, they're screwed then. They're fucked.
So I'm picking FTR as well. So because of that stipulation. Because what I've seen so far more on Cody and the Bucks is that what they're doing is elevating other guys. Because look at the Bucks specifically. The Bucks have put over everyone. Mm-hmm. And when I mean everybody, I'm talking about everybody. I mean, Private Party went on top of them. SCU. Everybody's got a W on them. Everybody. Mm-hmm. So
pretty much.
They're there to help other people go up. They're already getting their money. Believe me, they're getting handsomely paid. So they don't have that issue. So the question about being the best tag team in the world, that's more kayfabe stuff than anything. I don't think they really need anything to prove. They've done it for their careers, for God's sakes. If you ever want to know of a real DIY people, not Gargano and Ciampa, we're talking about the Bucks. Those are the real DIYs. They did it themselves. They put themselves over without any machine behind them. And they put themselves over. So their story is one to tell for any aspiring wrestler or any aspiring tag team, that if you want to bet on somebody, bet on yourself. So they don't need the belts, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. We could be wrong. Maybe they will get that wins. But added that stipulation.
It could happen.
Yeah, but adding that stipulation, that puts the sour note in my taste buds. So I'm going FTR. Anyway, now we go on to the main event. The I Quit match for the AEW World Title. Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. And by the way, before we go to the predictions, I do have to say those two did the fucking best promo, I think, in AEW history last night. Jesus Christ. That was awesome. That was believable to the fucking T. Y ahí se mentaron la madre, literalmente.
Yeah, they said this shit. And then they said, this shit is real.
Yeah.
This is real.
Ahí se mentaron la madre. They talked about their mamas. All of that shit. They went to the deep end.
You know the part that I like the most of what Eddie said? You know why I didn't have any kids? I didn't get married. It's because of this. I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally awesome. I go out. Look, Eddie Kingston. The guy has done a great job forming this new group, this new stable that he has right now. He's great on the mic. But right now, Jon Moxley for me has carried the torch very well for AEW, and I think he's gonna be there for a little while until Kenny gets there. So I'm going for Jon Moxley. I think they're gonna do the retake with Moxley against Kenny down the road. So I'm going for Moxley in this one.
Okay, Harold, what do you think?
I'm going Moxley as well. Not only because I do believe at the end of the day, who's next for that championship in this case would be Omega, but I believe that Kingston would need to wait at least a little more. Not much, but a little more.
I'm going to go Moxley as well. I mean, the story so far has been good because it's personal, because there's actual history between these two guys. They actually know each other, actually been friends for realsies for years. And they're using elements of their real life history and adding it. The best wrestling and the best storytelling in wrestling is when you add elements of real life into it. If not, ask what happened between John Cena and The Rock. Though that was one of the best rivalries in recent memory, especially those Cena promos. Cena destroyed.
Oh my God!
Destroyed The Rock. Se lo comió de desayuno. Se lo comió de desayuno. He murdered him. He murdered him.
When he told Cena told The Rock, I don't have things on my sleeve I can read on.
Dwayne, if you forget about it, it's all in the wrist.
Oh fuck! That was I'm like that. I still got that shit in my head.
No. Cena left him naked, exposed totally in those fucking promos, and he used reality again. The best promos are based on reality. That's why I didn't like when they jumped the gun and put that little impromptu Cena Roman feud, because I knew Roman was still in that level to go back and forth with Cena in terms of vocals. You know,
but nobody can go back and forth for Cena like that. You know that for a fact.
Very few people can do that.
Very few people. Cena's totally freaking
Punk
awesome.
was the only one that can go back and forth with him on the mic.
Who?
CM Punk.
Oh yeah, 100%.
CM Punk.
I agree with that on that one.
CM Punk se la devolvía inmediatamente.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Cena. So there are very few people that can go toe to toe with Cena on the mic, but we're not talking about Cena. We're talking about Moxley and Kingston, and Moxley for the win. So practically we're in agreement here in Full Gear. So let's just wait after this coming Saturday what's going to happen. So those are predictions for that. Let's continue with other stuff here. Some of the things that have happened, the Twitch ban is in effect. A bunch of wrestlers had gone to quits on Twitch, including AJ Styles, which was a surprise to me because I thought this guy was Vince's protected darling because he's a yes man. He's a company yes man. I won't go as far as saying he's an ass kisser, but he's a yes man. He does whatever the company does, and for what we see, he was obedient to the ruling of Vince, and a bunch of other guys like Cesaro, Mia Yim, a bunch of other guys had to close their Twitch. Paige, notably, was one of the ones that was protesting hardcore about that ban, and she even had a meltdown on her Twitch before the ban, saying that this is the only interaction she has with fans right now. In a bold move a la Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street, the woman say, I ain't fucking leaving, and decided to stay on Twitch and say fuck it to Vince McMahon and to WWE. What do you guys think about that?
So, pretty much, just as you said, Ariel, I actually was surprised with the AJ Styles leaving Twitch. Not only because he's a jazz man, he pretty much said, it's just, I don't give two hoots. So, pretty much it is surprising. Maybe he actually saw that thing was real, and he said, oh my god, I was not expecting this. But, whatever, in that case. Well, what can I say about Paige? Paige actually has more cojones than pretty much the entire roster right now.
Oh, yeah.
She has shown that she has the stones.
As Mick Foley would say, the ovarial fortitude.
Exactly. Thank you. You took it right. She got the ovario.
The ovarial fortitude, as Mick Foley would say.
So fuck everybody. I'm a and the fuck. I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago that she was making at least what was it, like 40,000 a month?
Yeah, like 40 G's a month. 40 G's a month.
She's making a shitload of money. So what she did, I applaud her. Not every wrestler has the stones like Charo just to do that.
No, and think about it. If WWE wants to play ball with her in terms of trying to get her connected off and trying to fire her, who's the one who's going to look bad in the court of public opinion? This woman broke her neck twice for the company. So she has pretty much handicapped herself into not having a position in the company as an active wrestler because she put literally her body on the line and her livelihood and her future on the line for that company, and this company for being petty assholes and not letting her have a fucking Twitch channel, which every human being under the planet, under the sun, is allowed to. I think you can even have a Twitch account in China, for God's sake. And they won't let her have one because they don't want her to get all the money. They want to get a piece of that pie too, those sons of bitches. No. They will not look good on WWE, and it will not look good on Vince McMahon to play roughshod on her. So I think they will leave her the fuck alone for the time being, especially now that it seems that Weekend at Bernie's is leading up the polls and it seems to going to be winning the presidential election.
Oh yeah, that's another story, but I agree with you 100% on that one.
What do you think, Harold?
I think what's going to happen is just they're going to leave at least her contract to expire. They're not going to renew it.
Yeah,
if they keep with this mindset, that's what they're going to do. In case they decide to go backwards, then that's something different. But as of right now, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I see them just waiting on the contract to be over and not renewing.
She got like a year and a half left on her contract.
Yeah, she has a long ass contract left.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's like 2 years left. So anything can happen in 2 years, guys.
Yep.
You know, in 2 years from now, maybe she'll probably sign again, and this will pass by. But anything is possible.
Yeah, I don't think Vince will. You would think that Vince wouldn't sweat 40 G's, extra 40 G's to take from Thailand, because I fuck WWE makes more than that in a second. But it's either here or there. But continuing the Twitch ban, it seems that there is a loophole in WWE, because as we discovered via dirt sheets today, is that the NXT locker room, aka the NXT wrestlers, if you're a part of NXT, there's a loophole there that the Twitch ban does not affect them, because wrestlers like Adam Cole still have their Twitch channels and they have not been affected at all by the ban on WWE. So it seems that the ban is only exclusively for main roster talent. What do you guys think about that?
Why is that? Why?
I have actually an idea of why.
I want to hear why, because I'm curious myself. I actually don't have a response for that, but I want to know why. What's the reason why?
According to the source on that, they don't know. The source that came out, they said we don't know why. It's just they don't have the ban.
Harold, what you think, Harold?
Actually, Vince McMahon couldn't give a rat's ass about NXT whatsoever.
Exactly.
He already lost faith on NXT, for God's sake. He's not including them in the Survivor Series this year.
Oh, my God.
So he's not paying much attention to the NXT wrestlers. So I don't think
NXT is developmental for him. So he does not give two drops of monkey piss.
Have you guys noticed that the roster of last year compared to this year is totally different?
Yes.
NXT roster last year was really,
because half of them are in Maine now.
It was a good roster. This year's roster, you know, it's not that it in the shits, but it's not the same roster.
Because half of the roster that was there last year is in the main roster now. Look at it. Look, Aleister Black. We got Keith Lee. So there's Andrade. Well, no, Andrade has already been over a year there.
Yeah. Angel Garza.
I mean, hell, what the fuck is Dominic doing in Maine? He didn't even spend a month in NXT. He should at least spend a month in NXT, but no, they wanted to push that. I mean, they had that great visual with Ray had that little feud he had with Brock. And they had that little
Shayna Baszler is in the main roster too.
También. So
actually, with Dominic, it was a deal between WWE and Ray. He wanted to push Dominic as a wrestler. That is why he went back. He was not even planning to go to WWE.
Okay. Well, what can I say? The thing is that. We can spread the word to the wrestlers. I mean, if you guys want to keep your Twitch account, go back to NXT. Demote yourself. Get paid like 40 G's a month.
Exactly.
Demote yourself, but hey, at least you get to keep all that Twitch money.
I've always said, if they send you back to NXT because you're being demoted, I remember Joe used to say, "Why not? Why is the motion?" I'm like, Joe used to say that. Oh, because they're gonna still make him, but it's not the same actually. Like
no, you don't have the full machine. You only have a quarter of the machine behind you. Whereas when you're in main roster, if you get somewhat of a decent push, you actually have the full machine behind you. Because let me tell you something. I bet your ass there's still people that remember No Way Jose. He was the jobber of the jobbers. So no lo mismo está en NXT que está en Raw. I mean, even if you're a jobber in Raw, they'll still remember who the fuck. I mean, it's been 30 years and I still remember Barry Horowitz, for God's sakes.
There you go.
So,
Mario.
There you go. I mean, if I remember Barry Horowitz, and that was over 30 years ago, for fuck's sake, if you go to Raw, money, you printing money. I don't care if you're a jobber, you're sweeping the floor, you're printing money.
Exactly. Even Coco Beware used to be a jobber too.
I was gonna say just that. Coco Beware.
The motherfucker's in the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
The motherfucker's in the Hall of Fame. What belts did he won? I mean, what's the claim to fame to Coco Beware? I mean, no offense. I mean, I probably had a great career outside WWE. I don't know. But what the fuck did he do in WWE? Get beat by The Undertaker.
Get the very first Tombstone Pile Driver on Monday Night Raw for the first time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And waving around his bird. That's it. I mean, no offense to the dude. He's probably done a lot more outside WWE. But in WWE, the fuck?
The Brooklyn Brawler, guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, that is the quintessential jobber. That is the la creme of the jobbers.
Exactly.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we already talked about Cody getting his last name back, so we're not going to go there. We pretty much touched on it. But for those of you unaware, I'm just going to go briefly on top of that. WWE withdrew their claim on the Cody Rhodes trademark, or let it go, more or less. And it was for Cody to grab, and he did. And now Cody currently owns again his surname, his famous father's surname. So now legally he can go by Cody Rhodes in AEW if he chooses to. So that's the story there. But
he's gonna use it.
Well, let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
I think he's gonna use it. I think
okay.
So. Even though he cemented his own name already, but he's gonna use it.
Well, again, let's see. I'm not gonna jump the gun, and we're not inside the committee in Cody's decision making, so we don't know. But it's a victory for him because, God damn it, that's his father's name. I mean, what the fuck gives WWE the right to own a name that was made famous by his dad by putting 40 years of his life outside of WWE, mind you, because whatever time he passed in WWE was a fraction compared to whatever he did outside of WWE.
Yeah.
And outside of WWE, that's where Dusty Rhodes built his name. I mean,
look, I only got one phrase for you, and I'm going to say it in Spanish. Ganas de joder. That's it.
Gadejo.
Exactly.
Gadejo.
Ahí está.
Anyway, let's go to a weird conundrum that happened this past week. Any of you guys saw the Walter versus Druganov match?
I haven't seen it, but it told me it was freaking awesome.
It garnered the prestigious 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So that's the first WWE match in years that garnered a 5-star match.
I gotta see that shit tonight.
So, but the weird thing is that not only did it made Dave Meltzer's praise, it got Jim Cornette, Mr. I hate everything that is actually happening now in wrestling, Cornette. Jim Cornette went to Twitter and sang that match.
Align or something like that.
Exactly. He sang that match's praise and he said it's the best thing he's watched in ages. That it was an actual wrestling match. And to be honest, those two dudes beat the living shit out of each other. If you saw Druganov's chest, it looked like a raw meat.
Wow.
Because, well, Walter. What the fuck you expect when you go to a match with Walter? You got a fucking bullseye on your fucking chest.
Well, Walter is a very physical competitor, and Cornette is a very fan of physicality, old school physicality.
Well, maybe you got it there.
Maybe that's why he was praising this match after all.
So
Cornette is an old fart that stays in the old fart past.
Yeah, I mean,
well said, Harold. Well said. You know something? I haven't seen the match, but I've read about it, and it was a totally awesome match. You know, and it's like Harold said. Cornette loves that, that stuff, that brutal wrestling back in the old days, in the early 80s and 90s. But, Walter is an extremely great wrestler, and all his matches are good. The stuff you see that big guy does in the ring is incredible. Just like Keith Lee.
What happened?
that the stuff that he does in the ring, similar to Keith Lee wrestling, that Walter is a big guy and he moves a lot. No, he does great. He does a couple of good moves just for being a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, Walter is a total package in terms of a guy that can wrestle at his size. And I'm talking about actual wrestling, like shoot wrestling. And that fucking chop in the chest where he leaves a black hole in your fucking chest where galaxies are being sucked inside once he leaves the hole.
He opens another dimension.
Fuck.
Exactly.
He discovered time travel by smacking people in their fucking chest.
Shit.
Sends them
Well
back
said,
to
brother. Well
sends
said.
them back to the days of Christ. One slap and they're in the Sermon on the Mount hearing Jesus talking and he's speaking in Aramaic and then it's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? What are all these people talking here? Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on?
Oh man.
Those chops are so strong that make you believe his ancestors created the universe by doing one.
Fuck.
Exactly.
That is the Big Bang right there.
You know what I remember? You remember Survivor Series of last year? Him and Keith Lee with those chops? Oh my god. And then him with Drew McIntyre. It was brutal, bro.
Drew wants to wrestle Walter. Again. He's even asking, he said that he's asked Triple H a bunch of times. And he's asked Vince McMahon, let me do a little tour over there to WWE UK. Let me do a little tour there and let me have a little match with Walter because I just want to get in the ring with that dude. Eso se llama ser masoquista, por cierto, porque si tú sabes que ese tigre te va a majar el pecho así, coño.
Exactly. Oh, don't you guys think they have plans to bring Walter in the US in the near future?
No, and Walter don't want to have it. He's totally against it.
Oh yeah, he's totally against it?
Yeah. He's not having it. He came to do like an indie tour last year, and they even stole the WWE UK belt.
Oh shit.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they stole his gear too.
I totally remember that.
And he was like, see, this is the fucking reason I don't want to come here, because you fucking assholes are savages.
I do believe Walter is doing really good where he's at right now. I don't think he should be moved anyway.
No, if they send him to Maine, for example, they'll just fuck him up. They'll fuck him up.
Oh yeah.
They'll neuter him because that's what happens when. Look, all the wrestlers under the WWE umbrella are fucking good. They're good. They're just very, very badly utilized, with certain exceptions here and there. But with the majority, I mean, that's the problem. They have too much guys. Even after all the people they fired, they still have too many people, and that's the reason why they have to do all those separate brands in order to keep all those people employed. But the damn thing is that they are under the whims of a 75-year-old man who changes his mind more times than a 4-year-old. So it's a fucking useless point. At anything that you're trying to aspire in the main roster is under his whims. So it doesn't matter how fucking good you are. I mean, ask Ricochet. He's fucking athletic as fuck. And he's right now jobber to Retribution of all people, for God's sake.
Oh my god, that is so
of all people. Retribution, who one of the members, by the way, tweeted today that if you actually buy one of their sweaters, he will roast you. He will roast you if you buy one of their sweaters. That's how much faith they have on themselves. That's how much faith they have on themselves. They're like, I will make fun of you for buying my merch.
Exactly.
That is the fucked up thing that is happening in WWE. Yes, you are in a scratch that. Internationally broadcast product that is being watched the world over. That young kids will be able to see you, and you have a shot to getting your name across and showcasing your talent and showing the world what you're made of. But the catch is, You're under the whims of a 75-year-old fuckhead who doesn't give a rat's ass about you, and all he gives a shit about is his money. And if he doesn't deem you worthy of his attention, it's go fuck yourself.
True.
Yeah, so that's your little rant from me today. Let's go. I'm a little hesitant to go to this subject because it's kind of done now. But this past week we had a little conundrum with a one Karl Machine Gun Anderson. I don't know if you guys remember. His as he calls her, his hot ass Asian wife. I think that's what he calls her.
Yes.
Posted a picture of Karl with the words cheater and asshole written all over his body while he is apparently knocked out sleeping. And she later deleted it, but we got to get some screenshots out of that before she did. And then, like an hour or two later, Karl sends out this cryptic message on Instagram saying that whoever liked the picture, you are out of my life. And this is some personal matter and will be attended. Then radio silence for 4 or 5 days. And then afterwards, he posts a picture of his wife taking care of one of his kids and said that the issue is done and it's over. Now, it's done. It's over. I'm glad to report that apparently everything is all is well in the Anderson household. So good on that. En pleito de marido mujer nadie se mete. But now let's go to speculation time. Porque somos una vez chimoso and we have no life.
Oh, damn.
We don't.
We have no life.
To say that. What the fuck you
We
say?
have no life. Hell, we're talking about a fucking dude that we don't know what the fuck happened, and we're gonna speculate now like we know, or we actually do give a damn. But are we just doing it just to fill in time for a podcast?
Oh, crap.
Am I too honest? Am I too sincere?
Oh my god.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertaining people? Am I not finding material for entertaining your sorry asses?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's speculate.
I don't even know what to say about this. This is so, this is so stupid. It is also dumb. Just as I always say. It is just like, I don't know. I feel that it actually did happen, but he actually got away with it with a gift or something. That's how I see it. Either that or they just wanted a little bit of attention.
It could be all of the above. It could be that something did happen, but it wasn't that big, and probably she read something to it. Because let's face it, the Good Brothers, they like to drink a lot. They go hard in the pain on the booze. So tal vez se le escapó un sexting por ahí sin querer o under the influence o no fue sin querer.
my type of guys, I can't hang out with those guys, man.
O no fue sin querer, tal vez se le escapó que quería tirar su canita al aire y...
Oye, exactly. Shit happens, man. Fuck
you
that.
know, he saw a good-looking girl, he got her digits, threw her a line, the woman found out, scribbled all that shit on his body, and then they had the fighting, and then they discovered that he didn't actually committed the deed, and it was just, foreplay and whatnot, and then she forgave him.
And it's over, and that's it.
And that's it. Pleito de marido mujer.
Alright, next subject.
God damn it, you fucking killjoy?
Did I switch places with you right now, man?
Fuck, you fucking killjoy.
I think we already talked too much about this.
Fuck.
Like, I had a real moment right now, man. I said, fuck that shit.
Like, God, I mean, what? Were we getting too personal? What? I mean, shit. We're just filling in time.
Are you into possession?
What position?
Possession? I don't know. You gotta get out of that body, man.
Look, I don't give a shit.
Likewise, man.
I don't give a fuck. My life is an open book.
I second that.
My life is an open book. As Tupac used to say, only God can judge me. Although I have not lived not even a third of a life that dude lived. Then again, he died like, what, 27?
Yeah.
And at 27, he did more shit than I have done at 42. Thank you for that depressing thought. Anyway.
Next subject, please. Thank you.
Okay. The Survivor Series build-up or lack thereof. In the sense that this year, curiously, as we already mentioned before, it seems that VKM, aka Vincent Kennedy McMahon, does not give two drops of monkey piss about NXT, and NXT was not included into the festivities of this year's Survivor Series. I do understand that probably this year will be a full card. Hell, as it stands right now, it has more matches than Hell in a Cell already, and it's not even fully booked yet. And to add to the fact that it's also going to be adding The Undertaker in some capacity into this pay-per-view. So apparently WWE is trying to hit any single thing that they're trying to hit everything on the wall and see what sticks. So, what do you think of the build-up for Survivor Series so far?
Look, what I understand about the NXT thing. You know, I read this thing on eWrestling that it mentioned that the reason in the NXT because of the COVID situation and so on and so on. Okay, that could be some truth to it, but also is what we mentioned like a couple of minutes ago. NXT, the roster is totally different, and we said it. Half of that roster right now is currently on the main roster right now. So the build-up is, you know, all right. If Johnny Gargano right now is a North American champion, and then you got the only these guys as champions, also tag teams. You know, you don't see like this vibe. Like they're gonna like do a good thing. You know, I don't see it. This roster. The only good thing I see is Gargano on it, and you know, and Finn Balor's injured right now, so like you don't see a lot of good stuff, the material to work through the Survivor Series with the NXT group. Now, you know, right now, what I do like the matches that I see, you know, Roman versus Randy, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, you got the New Day against the Street Profit, which I think is going to be a good match. So, there's like an Asuka versus Sasha. So, there's a lot of good things, you know, that can wrap up pretty good. But NXT is like they just don't fit because of the roster. That's my take.
Maybe and maybe not. Actually, what you said up front, it is true. Vince actually decided not to include NXT this time in order not to have any many talent together to avoid, you know, collisions. So that's just half of the reason. He feels NXT is just developmental, and he just doesn't feel like NXT can be a brand anymore. He just got tired. That's the second half.
Yeah, well, let's be honest and sincere. With the exception of last week's Halloween Havoc that NXT celebrated, AEW has been kicking NXT's ass.
Oh, totally.
Like, it's not even funny. It's been a massacre in the past. And this week, guess what? AEW won again. So AEW already got that market beat. They got the demographic that WWE wants. The AEW has it. AEW has the attention of the fan base, of the wrestling fan base, which, by the way, is the same fan base that likes NXT, because both shows are wrestling based, actual wrestling based, not like Raw and SmackDown that are sports entertainment. That's a whole separate other entity. That's why I even think that's why I don't even criticize the belts anymore on WWE, because the belt, think about it, look at the belts in WWE in the main roster. They look like fucking toys.
Oh yeah.
Because that's exactly what the market for. That market is for kids. 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9, 10-year-olds are the ones that are the market or the main demographic for those type of shows. Even though they're getting away with a lot of shit, like for example, this past Monday, the Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt got a few S-bombs out of the way.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, they're already booking him as a babyface, not as a heel, so that should be interesting. NXT is a wrestling based program. So is AEW, with the exception, as I mentioned before, of the Dinner Debonair, which was the only non-wrestling segment that AEW has really gotten away with. So NXT, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think that NXT should be moved to another night if they really want to keep them in the main. How would I say this? Because to me, they were fine when they were in the network, because in the network it made sense. It made sense to keep NXT there because if it's developmental, because the primary objective of NXT is to be developmental, to be the area where wrestlers that you pick up from anywhere in the world learn the WWE style of wrestling, which is a lot safer than, let's say, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and all the other places, and learn that style of wrestling, and then be used and utilized in the main roster. That was the main purpose of NXT. That, and also to get some speaking tools learned, learning how to cut a promo and whatnot, because WWE is heavy on promos, very heavy on promos. So that was the original purpose of NXT, and I think that should be NXT's bread and butter, to keep it as low profile as possible. Not because I don't think they have a good product. They do. They have great wrestlers. It has proven time and time again that the best wrestling WWE produces today is in NXT, in my opinion. So there's no diminishing what NXT can produce in terms of wrestling. It's just that it is not a competition for AEW, because AEW is a separate entity. It is not the same. Yes, it cannot compete right now with Raw or SmackDown, because Raw and SmackDown have that lineage. They have that time. They have 20 plus, 30 plus years grabbing the attention of people, that people already know what these programs are. They're part of Americana. They're like The Simpsons or Family Guy, things that already people know. So AEW is brand spanking new. It's a year and some change old. So you cannot try to compete it with established brands like Raw or SmackDown. But NXT is still a very underground thing. Even though it's in the USA Network now, it's still an underground thing. I challenge anyone, like my daughter's age, she's 9, to find me if they know who Johnny Gargano is, who's Tommaso Ciampa. They won't know. They wouldn't know. You ask them who Randy Orton is, they'll know. You ask them who Roman Reigns is, they'll know. But they don't know who the fuck is Johnny Gargano. They don't know who the fuck is Tommaso Ciampa. They don't know anybody in NXT, because they're nobodies in their for what they know, in their knowledge. But if you ask old guys like us, and I mean old because we're adults and we follow wrestling for the actual wrestling, we know who all these guys are. And for us, they're worth more their salt than any of those guys that we mentioned in the main roster, because they are actual wrestlers. So, we just have to keep the product in perspective to know what it is. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me, because I love NXT, and I have said it in the group, in our chat group, and I'll say it again here and publicly in the podcast. NXT is the best wrestling produced product WWE has. Hands down. Wrestling product rise, NXT is the best. Both the UK and the US version. It is the best wrestling product WWE produces. The rest of it is sports entertainment.
Totally.
Oh, I agree 100% on that one.
Now,
100% agree with you, bro.
Adding a little bit into the Survivor Series build-up, not maybe, who knows. This year marks the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker's debut at Survivor Series, which actually means he will be making an appearance. What will he be doing? We know no shit.
Choke slamming and tombstoning people, that's it. He'll choke slam and tombstone some people, and that's pretty much it.
And it's over.
Mm-hmm. He won't actually have a match. I think, I won't say he's done, because he's proven time and time again that he does not know. He does not know when to call it a quits, because he just loves the shit too much. But for the time being, and if his body allows it to be that way, I don't think he's coming back.
Well, he's not coming back. He's probably going to do like just a couple of tombstone and a couple of choke slam, and it's over. That's it. Done.
Yeah, he'll do. He'll do his special appearance, scare some people. He'll probably scare AJ Styles because there's some history there still, and that's it. And notice this time, sería interesante ver. It will be interesting with that fucking giant that AJ has, that giant he has now.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
It would be interesting, but I wouldn't want to get that guy getting a chokeslam from the Undertaker because that would devalue him immediately. No offense to Taker, but the dude is he's pushing 60.
Mm-hmm.
So taking a chokestand from a near 60-year-old dude does not exactly look good. I don't care how much of a legend he is, but believe me, he will have to do all the jumping to make that chokeslam look good.
Coño, sí la hace, para que sepa.
And I would like to thank Vin Diesel for running around here.
Oh my god.
If you heard the vehicles, yeah. Apparently, Fast 10 is being filmed here.
Oh lord.
It's Dominic Toretto all around.
Yeah. What is the Invisible Man's name in the movie?
It's me.
I
don't know.
I just know he's a Toretto, but what? Vinny Toretto?
Yeah, that's John Cena's character.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The Invisible Man. He who should not be seen.
I don't know.
El no visto.
John Cena. One Cena.
One dinner.
One dinner.
One dinner. That's how I call him. One dinner.
One dinner.
Anyway, I think we pretty much nailed every nail in the head and buried all the shit that we needed to bury.
Yeah, we did a pretty good job on that one today.
You guys have anything to add before we call it a quits?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Harold, how about you?
Actually, after all this shit we have talked today and actually went beyond, no. I have no
Oh, so we've exhausted every possible notion of verbalizing any frustrations at all. And that is something out of Marks.
Oh, yeah.
Because Marks are never short of expressing themselves. Right now. Marks are never short of anything to express themselves of the current state of wrestling. They always find something to nitpick about.
Spanish, cuando la madre bota peje.
Oh Lord. Oh,
I hope you people that are listening are getting entertained and educated at the same time, because this is a bilingual podcast for what I've seen. So you're getting your money's worth without paying nothing. So you're welcome, you fucking Marks.
Open Spanish with the Marks.
And with beers too. My end.
On your end, we're going non-alcoholic here on my end. We're just refreshing the throat with pure H2O.
I might just copy that next podcast, dog.
So I'll be the only one.
It can be. I need beer in my life.
Okay, so I'll be the only straight edge here then. I'll see.
Good about time. We'll be the Good Brothers, Harry and I.
And I'll be CM Punk. Without the asshole-ish.
I don't think so. You're still sarcastic and an asshole, bro.
That's okay. Well, I tried. There you go. That's the problem then. I think he needs a drink. I think he needs a drink. There's a
difference between being a CM Punk asshole and being a good asshole. Things are way different. I mean, good assholes rant at everything, but they understand a thing or two about it. Just doesn't matter anymore. But Punk, not so much.
Okay, well,
I cannot imagine Ariel drunk as fuck doing a podcast. That'd be funny.
I don't think.
Fuck this shit. We're not recording today. I'm doing shit. I want my mama.
I think I'd turn into Tim Dillon. That's American comedian who happens to be gay, but is so anti-liberal and anti-Trump that he's the guy I sent you the video on the chat. The guy who's beating the shit out of each other because it's election day, and then they decided to go eat tacos.
That's so fucked up.
He's a hell of a comedian. I like to watch his podcast. He's a great comedian, and he makes sense. And he did a podcast with Joe Rogan with Alex Jones, and that was epic. To edit all of those who watched Joe Rogan and watched the Kanye West, God bless you if you managed to swallow those 2.5 hours. I tried for 10 minutes, and I threw in the towel, and I wanted to shoot Kanye in the head.
That says it all.
I mean, I wanted to go into the studio. I mean, the only reason I didn't do it is because, one, I don't have the money. And two, trying to go to Joe Rogan's studio in Austin, Texas, where there's security guards, I don't think I have that much of a chance. Plus, the dude knows some jiu-jitsu and taekwondo. So if the guards don't kill me, Joe would have.
I do believe actually Kanye had enough just with his 1% in politics. I believe he might shut himself down.
I don't think he even got a 1%.
Yes.
I think 37 people voted for him. I think, like in total, 37 people. And there must be like family members.
For sure, man. Or people that he owe money to.
Or people that he owes money to. Porque no que te den buena tigre tampoco.
También puede ser.
Anyway, I think we went off the rails.
Yeah, I think totally 100% on that one.
Okay. This has been the Smart Nerd Podcast, and I hope that beautiful part in the end entertained you. Kanye, don't sue us. We don't have money.
Yeah, we're broke as fuck, bro.
We live in Dominican Republic. Need I say more?
Yeah. Can you lend us money, though?
Can you give us money? We will talk about you more. We will shit on you and try to get you more exposure. Although at this point, it is pointless because you lost. But, I mean, whatever helps, right? Let's help each other out.
There you go.
So again, this has been the Smart Nerd Podcast. Guys, say goodbye.
Hey, have a good night. It's been a pleasure, guys. See you the next time.
Have a good one, everyone.
Please don't kill each other. They're just politicians. They don't give a shit about you. You can continue to live your lives no matter who wins. Okay?
Exactly. And drink more alcohol. Thank you.
And don't kill your neurona en los cerebros.
Oh,
okay. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye. Like the film said. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Later.